As Voldemort's presence and dominance is growing, Malfoy Manor becomes the heartbeat of his operations, home to Harry's nemesis Draco and his once powerful family, who have suffered a dramatic fall from grace. This is the first time we've seen Draco's family home. Its stunning Jacobean features were inspired by Hardwicke Hall in Derbyshire, which was once described as one of the most splendid houses in England. And who would guess that much of this panelling and detail was actually made from foam? But all of this grandeur counts for nothing if you've fallen out of favour with the Dark Lord.
What about you, Lucius? My lord?
I start off so full of hope, Lucius. You know, Voldemort has chosen my house to be his headquarters, and it's just having the king in your own house is a ringing endorsement.
I require your wand.
Within about 2 seconds, it all turns completely pear-shaped when he takes my wand off me. You don't take a wand off a wizard in public. It's just not appropriate. And then he snaps it, and I think he's going to kill me, and it all just turns into my worst nightmare and goes downhill from there.
And that very public fall from grace is horrific for the Malfoys and for...
It's emasculating for me, and it's what it is the moment where it becomes clear to me that he does not see a place for me in the future, in this new world that he's going to create if he wins.
Let's talk about Voldemort and what his plans are. What's he been up to and what's he trying to get out?
He's up to his old tricks again, Ben. I hate to say it, but he hasn't turned around. He's still pursuing the art of darkness. Well, much the same, obviously. He's obsessed with getting rid of the young wizard Harry.
As inspiring as I find your bloodlust, Bellatrix, I must be the one to kill Harry Potter.
It's going to be interesting. There's a few scenes, again, that I don't want to say too much, but it has had me close to believing that this is actually a real thing. Some of the he murders some people in some very, very
gruesome ways.
Yeah, I don't even know the right words for it.
If I am to kill him, I must do it with another's wand.
It's a strange time, certainly for myself, because I'm not used to seeing all these things out in the public, and lots of very undesirables roaming around my house. I don't pick generally the prettiest people to play Deathly. It's no offence to any of them who are out there. They're gorgeous in real life, but they make them wear all sorts of teeth. And so, yeah, it's a little daunting, even for Tom the actor, let alone Draco the young boy.
The first scene he's in is terrifying, which actually takes place on this set. It's really, really scary. I mean, I came down to watch a bit of the filming. I left quite quickly because it was taking a long time, but the bit I saw was really scary. Yeah, no, it'll be good for people to see what people have been running, what all these characters have been running from for so many years.
I have seen your heart, and it is mine.
Harry, Ron and Hermione are hiding out here in Grimmauld Place, the former HQ to the Order of the Phoenix, once owned by Sirius Black, Harry's godfather, and now belonging to Harry himself. And it's here that they're reunited with Kreacher, the rather curmudgeonly house elf, who is very upset to find he's now in Harry's service, and as such is charged with a very important mission. He is tasked with finding the whereabouts of a Horcrux disguised as a locket. This scene also sees the return of the much-loved Dobby. They look so realistic, these house elves, that it's hard to believe they don't actually exist. But at the heart of these state-of-the-art CGI creatures is a very human element.
It was very important that we had actors to play Dobby and Kreacher.
Been spying on us, have you?
We asked them to come along during all of the filming, so when the whole scene was shot, so that David could work very closely with them, and we could kind of develop the personalities and characteristics of the house elves in each scene, which felt quite important to actually know how the other actors are going to interact with them. Even though obviously they're not the right size, having them there to actually give a performance was really important. So we filmed a rehearsal with each of them on camera, so we had reference of where they were. And then we had body doubles to play the house elves, basically, so that there were eye lines available on the set. Not of the correct height or proportions, but small enough to give all of the other actors a sense of where they were in space and moving around. We then removed them from the plate and obviously replaced them with the CG Kreacher and CG Dobby.
Master Weasley, so good to see you again.
Wicked trainers.
Dobby and Kreacher reveal that the locket is now in the possession of Dolores Umbridge, their former teacher and arch-enemy, who is now working as Senior Undersecretary at the Ministry of Magic. The question is, How do they get to it? After the break, we're going inside the Ministry of Magic. And get this, for the first time ever, we're going to be allowed to show you how they make the flying sequences, and I'm going to get to have a go. See you in a bit. We've come behind the scenes of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, where Harry, Ron and Hermione are searching for Horcruxes, objects that will help them destroy the evil Lord Voldemort. One of them is in the possession of their old enemy, Dolores Umbridge, here at the heavily guarded Ministry of Magic. So, Dolores Umbridge has the locket that Harry, Ron and Hermione must steal, which is a bit of a nightmare, really, because she's working at the Ministry of Magic, which, of course, is crawling with Death Eaters. So, they need to find a cheeky way in, because they can't go in the usual routes, and they certainly can't go in as themselves.
We take Polyjuice Potion to become other people. We become 3 other people that we don't know really anything about, but we know they work in the Ministry.
A little bit of Polyjuice Potion and a sneaky back door is what they need. Fortunately, there's a very convenient entrance in a very unusual place. Do I flush? You may remember that the last time we saw the Ministry of Magic in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, it was blown to smithereens. For this film, the set was painstakingly rebuilt to exactly the same specification, with one exception: this statue, which reflects the dark times in which this film is set. The design of the statue was influenced by several historical sculptures, particularly from Soviet Russia and pre-war Germany, and shows the oppression of the Muggles, or non-wizarding folk. That's you and me, in other words. There are around 50 of these figures, and each took 2 weeks to handcraft. They were all made by one man. There's 3 characters who work in the Ministry that we've never seen before, necessarily. Yep. Suddenly, you guys are impersonating them. Polyjuice,
yes.
You become them.
Yes.
So someone was being you, being themselves.
Yes. It is odd, because we were sort of then, me, Rupert and Emma have consultancy roles behind the monitor.
Do you get a proper seat?
I think if I get proper seats anyway, Ben, on a day-to-day level.
Let's take the star seats out of it. Do you get, like, consultants to...
No, unfortunately, we didn't. I'm definitely angling for an extra credit, though.
Even if you're in the know, all this polyjuicing stuff is quite tricky to get your head around.
Got it. That's Ron. Yes.
So let's take this really slowly.
So there's this little character called Mafalda, who's a really little secretary, and she's the one that Hermione gets in. So really, I'm a sort of flamboyant costume.
And so essentially right now,